Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Thugs, athletes, and playboys. You know what? And this is once again in the category of people actually doing now what they were doing years ago, right? Because, I told you, I'll be checking out like videos from outside of this sector, and I'll actually check out a lot of young people's stuff, like, because outside of my teenage sons and, maybe some young people I encounter in my neighborhood, I always like knowing how they rolling and everything, right? And, and it's like people think shit is like some new shit that didn't happen in the day. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, all these young guys wearing waves. Ain't no new shit with that. Got in their waves caps. They were doing that shit in the 80s. Hell, Rom used to have waves. And I'm looking at the waves. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, I like it. Had that do-rag and everything. Oh, Rom had some nice waves, but yeah, older now, so those waves don't work as well. And shoot, actually, my oldest son, he ain't big on waves. My youngest son, though, he'll probably have waves if he wants them. But they got, actually their hair is more natural, or what people would consider quote unquote good hair. Especially my youngest. Yeah, that Creole blood in him. So, it is what it is, right? But check it out, right? I saw that. I was laughing because I was like, because in the end, I got the link of the particular video I saw. I was like, because they were going around interviewing women, young girls publicly. There's three of them. They say, okay, which one of us is the thug? Which one of us is the athlete? Which one of us is the playboy, right? And, I was like, wow, where have I seen that before? Oh, yeah! Back in, there's a radio show, R.G. Chapman. She's actually a clinical therapist, professional. And she has a radio show on WHUR in the D.C. area. I think, I haven't checked it out in a while. She might not. If y'all know about her, let me know, because I hadn't actually checked her out. But I met her in person back in, when was that? I think 2001 or 2002. I was actually on her show. And I always remember when she came in, and, the show started at 8 o'clock. She came in at 7:58. Walked to her seat, took her coat off, and just started talking. Didn't even introduce. I was like, good God. That was a fun show to do. And then when it was off at 10 o'clock, she got her coat and just left. I was like, damn. But she had wrote a book, and it was called, I forgot the name of that book. I think it was 7 Attitude Adjustments for Women, something like that. But there was a section in there she talked about women need to avoid, and this was actually particularly black women, need to avoid 3 types of guys that are relationship dead ends. Because she said these guys typically ain't gonna settle. Now, she called them star boys, pretty boys, and bad boys. And among the star boys, she included athletes. I was like, And then, when I saw this most recent thing, I was just like, oh, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And just as an aside, history itself goes in cycles. Seriously. I expect to see, I haven't seen them too much yet, but I expect to see like 3-button suits back at some point, and double-breasted suits back. Like in a whole, you got a few people wearing them, but as a whole, everything goes. And, I remember when bell bottoms was big in the 70s, and then it was big like in the late 90s. Everything goes back. Hair, everything. And like I said, with the waves, But check it out. I was looking at that, and I was like, oh, wow. The thug, the athlete, and the playboy. And young people get the damn point. Just as an aside, it's a shame that some of the things I talk about, some younger people get it right away. Just pointing it out. But anyway, thugs, athletes, and playboys. Those are actually three like archetypes within the whole Mr. Goodbar part of the select. Now, people know when I talk about the select and non-select, and you can break it down further into with the select, the masked men, and the Mr. Goodbars, and then in the non-select, the gamesmen and the nice guys. But those are just all still super categories. You can break them down even further. There's several types of archetypes within each. You can just keep breaking it down. It's not just one specific guy. That's one thing people don't realize. Like, and I mean, that's with anything. Even when I talk about the body game, and I got to shout out cousin T-Taw. He talked about 5 specific bodies that women find generally sexy. They were 5 specific types, right? And it was like, oh, okay, you got a point. So, I mean, cousin T-Taw, and he did that on his Patreon. You need to support him on his Patreon to even see that. But it was like, even that was breaking down. Like, you can break down, if you're going to look at anything, you can always break it down. You can always break down the parts of it, right? And, like, when I saw that thugs, athletes, and playboys, I was like, oh, okay. That's how these young people are looking at the good bar types. Because, okay, we all know about the thug. I mean, look, even though I've always said that thug thing is overrated, I've never said some women ain't gonna go for a bad boy or something. And that's within all cultures. They call it the thug, the bad boy, whatever. And it's not always like he's a criminal or anything. He's just somebody who's going against the norm. And there's actually some deeper science behind that. I think I might have did a video on that. I don't know, but women, that guy who takes them out of their normal comfort zone, or, out of their lives, show them something new or something. That's always been a big thing. So, and a lot of guys, I don't know why guys focus just on the thugs. Because then you got the other two, you got the jocks. Now, I just did a podcast saying most women are imprinted by jocks. I just did. Because what? What are they? If you compare the athletes to the star boys, which R.G. Chapman was talking about, who are the stars? Who are the stars? And who are the stars? They in that category, right? Many of them. Of course, you got some. Of course, you can throw some. Some entertainer or something like that in there as well. But that's another part of the archetype. In fact, I'll probably have a podcast coming up, soon, where I talk about the creativity and how that's a big part of charisma. That's a big part of charisma. So anyway, right? So you got that, and then the playboy. That's just a dude, and that's the dude who's like, he got a good look on him that women find attractive. That's like the pretty boy and stuff. But it's more than just his physical features. He got what the young people call that drip. He got that good drip. Got that, fashionable and all of that stuff, looking fly and all of that. And so I was just like... seriously. I mean, seriously. It's like the stuff is out there. A lot of times some folks don't want to see stuff because they caught in their own world or their own fantasy and stuff about what's out there. But I'm like, they see it. You just have to, only difference is you just have to maybe switch the terms, like, my generation, we just say somebody looking fly. Right? We'll say some dude looking fly. The younger generation, they'll say, oh, yeah, they got that drip. Yeah, that's it. So anyway, though, that's all I got for now. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.